James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben all the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0. James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben all the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0.
All right, guys. Looks like we are here. We are ready to go. We are live. I just want to make sure. Yep, we are good. Well, guys, welcome to this edition of Load the Box Browns. I am your host, Chris Paxitas, and I am always joined by my wonderful 1A host, Mr. Eric Mienko, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy he is the glue that holds this together.
Glue.
In every sense of the word. He's the glue, the foundation, the brains, and the beauty. So,
Well, I mean, I'd say the hair.
well, that's a bit of a low blow, but okay. Wow.
Sorry.
Okay, so we're
You
just
set that one up.
we're just starting this out like that now, I guess. Okay, well, guys, again, like I said, welcome to Load the Box Browns. Chris Paxitas, that's Eric Mienko. Before we get into what was that Browns game against our bitter rivals, the Baltimore Ravens, I want to know, Mienko, how was your week?
Week was good. We
Yeah?
went to a little trunk or treat thing on Saturday at this church and got a decent amount of candy, got to hang out with my mom, and then got to spend some time with my dad on Sunday. So
There you go.
always good when you get to see your parents.
Yep. For me, I had a long week. Very, very, very long week. I was just telling you this off the show. I had to work Friday night, and I was actually up 36 consecutive hours from Friday night into Sunday morning. So that was pretty rough. But and then I had to work. I had to work a little bit Sunday night and Sunday morning. So that was rough. Actually kind of fell asleep during most of the game. I didn't mean to. It's just,
Right.
You're up for so long. It just kind of happens. Like my wife and daughter left the house. They went doing something else and I passed out. So
Nighttime.
yeah, it felt good to get some sleep, but
Oh, sure.
I didn't want to miss the game. But so you're going to take the lead. I mean, I've brushed up, I got the spark notes and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, Ingo, I want to ask you your opinion on this, okay?
Okay.
If I told you that the Browns held Lamar Jackson to 8 of 16 passes when he only threw for $120 and he rushed for less than 60 yards, and no one rushed for more than 100 yards, and Mark Andrews didn't even have a catch, would you say that the Browns would win that game?
I mean, I would say it'd be an easy win.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yet we lost this game 23-20. There's a lot of blame that can be passed around in this game. And I know we're going to say it. I don't like, I try to have the saying, you got to play better than the ref's ref. But man, there were some non-calls on this game. There were some bad ones. Obviously, we know the field goal, the phantom false start that never was, even though the Ravens jumped off sides. But, God forbid we call a penalty that helps the Browns, that's God forbid that happens. Right. I know you said there was a lot of non roughing the passer calls.
Two.
There were 2 of them. Okay.
One of which Jacoby Brissett talked about after the game. They asked him about it, and he goes, "Well, I thought he was going to rip my helmet off, so I'm not quite sure why the flag was picked up, but obviously I'm not the one making those calls." But literally, the guy, was it Owe? I think it was Owe.
Mm-hmm.
He got around the outside, and he's pushing Conklin back towards Brissett. Brissett throws the ball. He reaches up with his hand, swings his arm, hits Brissett in the ear hole, and turns his head with his finger in the ear hole, and they said no. Wow. It honest to God reminded me of the Baker Mayfield flag that got picked up against Tampa Bay.
I remember that one.
When he got hit in the head, and they said, well, the quarterback was considered a runner, so he can get hit in the head. And I'm like, huh?
Well, that's news to me.
Right.
Didn't know that one.
And then there was another one in the second half in which Brissett threw the ball as a full 2 seconds, and then the lineman hit him. He didn't tackle him to the ground, but he hit him.
Yeah.
It was a full 2 seconds.
And
Ball gone, 1, 2, boom. And it's like, that should be a flag.
And at least if we're going by what the NFL is doing. Now, do I actually think that's a flag? I do not. But if you're going to call them that way in any other game, you better call it that way in this game. That's
It's
like
the same thing with the OPI call.
Yeah.
You don't call that flag 9.5 times out of 10.
Yeah.
But the one time you call that, you call it when it's game on the line, game-winning touchdown catch.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when you decide to make a ticky-tack call like that. Now, did Cooper hand fight with Peters on the way down the field? Absolutely.
But if they're both hand fighting, then...
Yeah, but the problem was this. Cooper extended his arm. Did it create real separation? No, not really. He already had separation. He didn't even need to do the hand. He did not need to push off. But he did, and that's why he called himself out after the game. He said, I should have never done that. That's on me.
Yeah.
And he was right. It is.
Yeah. But another thing that I want to complain about here, and I feel like this has been something that we've been talking about nearly every game this season. Yet again, we have another game where Nick Chubb only ran the ball 16 times. When is Kevin Stefanski going to learn that the key for this team right now, the key to win these games is to run the ball?
So I actually have I wanted to talk to you about this. So I actually saw a stat today.
Yeah.
And it was, the typical analytic was a DVOA or whatever. Basically how effective they are, and how much they're contributing to them winning, right?
Yeah.
So there was a stat that came out that said Nick Chubb's average yards per carries when only averaging, was it like 10 to 18 or 10 to 12, something like 10 to 16, something like that. It was really high, what we expect. And then after that 18th carry, that's when it goes extremely downhill. So are they strictly relying on the analytics? Because this is what I see, right? They come out, the first drive, it was pure dose of Nick Chubb. They didn't run the ball that much, but they used him in different ways.
Yeah.
First drive, like we talked about last week, the scripted plays looked really good. Then, you get further into the first quarter, things are still looking pretty good as far as offense goes. You get 3/4 way through the first quarter, most of the second quarter, no Nick Chubb. Third quarter, you sprinkle him in a little bit, still not enough Nick Chubb. Fourth quarter, when you would expect to see him a lot, boom, comes in, absolutely wears down the defense. And that's when he hits like a 9-yard run, 9-yard run, 6-yard run. That's what you expect. You got to feed the man. Screw the freaking analytics, man. Play the game like you got. Use the talent you have to your advantage.
Yep. I'm sorry. Jacoby Brissett is not Deshaun Watson. Okay,
And
we cannot
ask him to be.
Exactly. They're completely different quarterbacks. So we need to quit relying on the arm of Jacoby Brissett. He has proved that he is a capable backup.
Yeah.
In the end, that's all this man is. I appreciate him for it. I really do. That is a great job to have. Ask Chase Daniels. He's made a killing.
I wouldn't put him in the same category as Chase Daniels, though.
I'm talking about
as Chase Daniels to win me a game.
I'm talking about as a capable backup quarterback. The man has made so much money being a backup quarterback.
Nick Foles, I'm down for that. But.
Oh, well, okay, fine. We'll
Chase Daniels doesn't really get a chance to play, though.
Yeah.
Versus where Nick Foles has got to play. Look at Brian Hoyer. He's gotten to play.
Okay.
You talk about capable backups. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. Fine. Nick Foles.
It's okay.
We'll talk Nick Foles then. Compare him to that, even though Brissett's never won a Super Bowl. But Nick Foles, he can. They're different quarterbacks. We cannot have this offense rallying around Jacoby Brissett. He doesn't have the arm strength like we thought. Those deep balls are still coming up short.
This game, his deep balls looked really good.
Yeah, but
the deep ball to DPJ down the sideline, the one to Njoku was a really good pass, and then the one to Cooper was a dime. That was right on the money. You could not have gotten better on that touchdown. That should have been touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the problem is arm strength. It's not the fact he doesn't have the arm to get it where it needs to go. It's that they're asking him to do the things that are
Hmm.
requiring more like elite arm talent, such as those, 15, 20-yard outs to the outside corner, the 20-yard, go route down the sideline. Things like that where it takes good arm talent to get it there on the money with
Yeah.
the strength that you need to get it there. And they're asking him to do those things when they know that he shouldn't be doing that. He's a good quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback by any means. He's better than PJ Walker. I'd rather have him than Baker Mayfield. I'd rather have him than Sam Darnold.
No, I agree with you. Now we'll
So
say
I mean, it's just
PJ Walker lit up the XFL, man. Let me tell you, as a Battlehawks fan, it was painful to see, to go up against
yeah,
what was it, Houston? Yeah, it was painful to go up against the Houston Roughnecks with him as quarterback. He was going to win the MVP of that league, although my man Jordan Ta'amu played well, but PJ Walker was just slinging it. So, as a fan of the XFL, it is kind of nice to see
yeah,
one of the stars of that league playing in the NFL. That's just cool for me.
for sure.
That's just nice.
But
But
the point is the
no,
fact that
you're
Jacoby
right.
Brissett's a very capable backup. Like he could start on multiple teams in this league.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good quarterback.
No,
He is
he is,
on
but
he's on that line between bottom, bottom 10 starting quarterbacks and top 3 backup quarterbacks. So
yeah,
he's that line of you can't win with as a result of him, but likely you wouldn't lose as a result of him. Unfortunately for us this year, he has not helped us the way that we have needed him to
yeah,
in the times that we've needed him to be that.
yeah. No, you're exactly right. And a lot of people were thinking that this season was kind of going to be a wash when we
Mhm.
found out that Watson was going to be gone for 11 games. And that's how, I don't know. I almost wonder if this is what the Browns front office is, or not even the front office, but the coaching staff is almost doing, like
Yeah,
just saying, hey, we're going to do our best out there, but we don't have our all pro quarterback for the first 11
right.
games. So we're just going to go out there and see what happens. But in the end, why would you do that though? Because it's not like we have a first round pick next year.
Right,
It's not like we have a first round pick after the year after either.
right.
Um, we'll say this. I think this has been the last time we see Kareem Hunt in a Browns jersey. Man's on the trading
Mm,
block.
he's
It
on the
would.
trading block, but I think they're gonna require a offer to kind of blow their socks off.
I think they're
I
looking for a fourth round pick right now. Um, I think that's what I saw
yeah,
earlier. They want a fourth round pick for him. At this point in time, you're not utilizing the man. Let him go. You're not. I would like him to stay,
yeah.
but if you're not going to use the guy, then
I
let
think
him.
he's so valuable
No, he
to our
is.
team.
No, he
No,
is
I mean, I
valuable.
would love to see him go somewhere and ball out.
Yeah.
He's a Cleveland kid. He's been nothing but a good teammate ever since he arrived.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him do more. But the other piece is like maybe he doesn't want to go. Maybe he talked to Andrew Barry and like, listen, man, unless you guys get a damn good offer, I'll cut you guys a deal when it comes to the off season.
Maybe.
Like, just get me a couple years. Let me get 2 years. Like 2 years, 8 million,
Yeah.
4 mil a piece.
Yeah.
You guys can afford that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Let me see what it's like to play with a winning quarterback.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys saw what I did with Mahomes when he was in KC with me. Like I was, elected to the Pro Bowl. Use me and Nick to you guys' full potential. Me, Nick, the wide receivers you got DPJ developing like he's supposed to. You obviously got Cooper for a few more years, and Joku will be back fully healthy. Like we could make this thing work. Y'all just gotta, cut me a deal. And but then at the same time, maybe they're like, listen, I think they say he's 28 on expiring contract. Like it makes sense. It makes sense on
Yeah.
why they would trade him. It's the
Yeah.
same thing when I've seen rumors about Conklin too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got James Hudson who stepped in there and played really well for you.
Yep.
So I don't know what their plan's going to be for those two guys, but and same thing with Greedy. the problem for Greedy, and the bad thing for us as far as trade value goes, is MJ Emerson's just played really freaking well.
Yep.
Are we going to get a lot for Greedy? Probably not. But at the same time, it's kind of a good problem to have. You think about it.
Yeah.
Like MJ has just played great this year.
Yep. So, Mienko, I wanted to ask you this question, and I'm curious as to what your answer will be. Is Kevin Stefanski on the hot seat right now?
I'm going to say he's on a lukewarm seat.
Okay. So you don't think if the Browns lose this game, he's going to get fired? I don't think that either. But there are people
is on smoking some serious crack.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay.
You just signed a guy for what, $250 million? You signed him with the intention of Kevin Stefanski coaching him. You have a team that's lost 4 games by a combined 9 points. You got a team that's only been really blown out one time this year. A guy that won Coach of the Year 2 years ago. A guy that took your team to, 8 wins last year?
Mm-hmm.
With a quarterback that we all know is not good. Hot garbage is a good way to put Baker Mayfield.
At least how he's playing right now, yeah. Well, he's also hurt, but,
Well,
he didn't have that. He didn't have that excuse at the beginning of this season. He didn't have the I'm hurt excuse.
Everything that was the problem last year, you could see. Everything that you thought was good about this offense, you have seen this year. You can see that it works. Do I think he needs to change his philosophies a little bit? Yeah, I do. I think he tries to get too cute in the second and third quarter.
Yep.
The first quarter, he's on. The fourth quarter, he's on. It's the second and third quarter in the middle of the game when teams take the lead and extend it out a little bit too far for us to come back from.
Yep.
Or he keeps you just close enough to where you get your hopes up and then he crushes you.
I wouldn't mind seeing AVP get a chance to call plays,
Yeah, I just don't know that Kevin has, his ego is not big enough. I think his ego is too big. His ego is too big, and this is my team. I want to call the plays. Just like in his post-game press conference when they asked him about the moving the ball up a yard for the field goal. He said, well, I'm the head coach. Everything starts and stops with me. Like, that's something that your special teams coordinator had to make that decision. And, he told you to make it, and you made it and said, but at the same time, like, he made that decision for you.
And I want to know who told him to challenge that challenge in the first quarter. Like,
awful.
Okay, let's say that the Browns win that challenge.
Yeah.
How, like,
what doesn't make much difference.
What are you really gaining?
You go from being around the 10-yard line and getting a chance to block it versus going to the 15 or 20 to where they were, they were still 8 yards away, but you still at the same time could have been, closer to the end zone and helped your field position.
But that's still such a low chance. That just still
agreed.
That was a dumb challenge. I don't think that was a good challenge at all. Even
a lot of people said it pissed off the Ravens and it was one of the turning points of the game, which I don't disagree with.
Yeah, it very well could have. I guess I'm also tired of hearing I just need to coach better.
Yeah,
because it's reminding me of the Hugh Jackson. I need to watch the tape.
Oh. And I heard him say, and Stefanski said that last week, and my skin crawled.
Yep.
Oh God, my skin crawled.
I'm tired of.
Don't say it.
I'm tired of hearing that I need to coach better. I need to coach better. I need to coach better. We know that. We know you need to coach better. Like, trust me, we know. I don't think if the Browns lose this game on Monday, I don't think Kevin will be fired. But I do think that this would be a good time if the defense has a really bad game. I think it would be a good time to get a new coordinator or at least start the interim one for the rest of the year. The defense is not up to snuff. John Johnson has not had a good year.
Nope. Duff's had a very up and down year.
Yep. And
Denzel's had a pretty up and down year.
If we even get Denzel back from Monday,
he thought he practiced today.
Did he? Okay.
He did individual drills.
Okay. Well, sorry.
That's a huge step. I mean, since we don't play till Monday.
Yeah.
It's a huge step.
that is. I don't know if you saw Jacob Phillips got put on an injured reserve. So that's a blow, but is it really that much of a blow? The man has not played well. And I think
Yeah,
Deion,
but you still need depth.
I know, but also Deion Jones is kind of, it seemed like he had a pretty good game, you know?
Pretty decent, yeah.
So, and he's only going to get better. He's only going to learn this
Yeah.
defense more. Which, you know what, let's just go ahead and go into the injury report. You know, let's look into it. We already said Jacob Phillips. Farrell Brown is questionable. He's in the concussion protocol, got put in today. We'll see if he can
Very
come
unlikely
back.
we'll see he gets out.
Yeah, I doubt it. It's kind of nice to see him back in a Browns uniform. He's come in clutch. He's had some really good catches
Yeah,
so far
nice
since
blocker too.
Yep.
He had a couple really nice blocks on Sunday.
Yep. Wyatt Teller's questionable. Denzel's questionable. Isaac Rochelle's also questionable. Joe Hagg's questionable. David Njoku is going to be out this week. He's week to week with the ankle. So we'll see. That's what we're dealing with right now. Couldn't find the Bengals injury report. I'm gonna look for it. Usually I can kind of find both together, you know.
I will say real quick while you're looking for that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The ankle injury to David Njoku could prove to be really, really bad for this offense. I agree. Coming into this year, I was very hot and cold on Njoku. I love that they were going to include him more. Now, I'm not going to lie. For fantasy, it's been nice to have him. He's been very consistent. Been very consistent. At the same time, he's become a very, very good pass blocker and run blocker. He's been very good in the blocking game. And not only that, but he's improved as a route runner. He's improved as just decoy down the field. And seeing him get hurt is a big blow to this offense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be interested to see if Harrison Bryant can step up and be what they drafted him to be.
Yep.
Or if you're going to have to rely on Miller Forrestall.
Yep. So this is what where we're looking at for the angle for the Bengals injury report. So DJ Reader is out. He will not return. So he is out. That's big right there.
Yeah.
Linebacker Logan Wilson is questionable, but they're saying he could return. Josh Tupou is questionable. Stanley Morgan questionable. Jeff Gunter is questionable, and Trey Hendrickson is questionable. He had a stinger against Atlanta, but he more than likely will probably be good to go.
Well, that's a big miss if they don't have him.
Yeah,
he's been really good this year. Trey Hendrickson has.
Yeah.
Same thing with Logan Wilson. Sorry, I forgot who you said. He's a very good linebacker, so not having him would be a big loss for them as well.
No, you're right. So let's get into this Bengals-Browns game. Bengals are 3.5-point favorites. It is going to be in Cleveland.
Only 3.5?
Only 3.5 right now.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Same here. I expected it to be a little bit more. This is a tough game, you know? I mean, this is what we got going for us. We have some momentum in the fact that Kevin Stefanski has yet to lose to the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all of our momentum right now. That's it. The only way I feel like that we can win this game is that the defensive line has to be on Joe Burrow's ass. I mean, constantly. His offensive line has gotten better as the games have progressed. Their offense is kind of back to where it was last year. They proved that against Atlanta.
Atlanta's a terrible defense.
You're right, but what did we do against their defense?
We didn't have a bad game against their defense.
We still lost the game, though.
Yeah, you're right, but that's because we couldn't finish the game.
Well, it still makes me nervous. It makes me nervous, man. Makes me nervous.
I don't disagree with you.
I tell you what, we need Denzel back. Denzel's been one of the few corners that have been able to cover Jamar Chase. Is one of the few ones. So we need him back. Man, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, this is just a scary game.
I mean, the thing I will say is this. So, two things
Yeah.
about the Bengals offense. Last week, the Falcons were down 3 of their starting corners. 3 of them. So, if Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd didn't go off, that would be a lot more alarming than the fact that they did go off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, that is true.
I also think they may be getting a little cocky because the way the offense has clicked the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
And even then, the Saints team was hurt, and they barely beat them. You know?
Yeah.
So, is this team unstoppable? Absolutely not.
No.
They're
no,
still only averaging 3.4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Mixed averaged 3.4 last week against the Falcons. You felt compelled for Joe Burrow, to run the ball 3 times for 20 yards, which is not bad. But you beat them 35-17, and you had to throw the ball 42 times with Joe Burrow because you cannot run the ball. That is very good for us.
Yep.
At the same time,
That's very good because we have a terrible rushing defense.
I was going to say, at the same time, we also have lots of miscommunications in the secondary.
Yep. That is somehow
so we've got to
not
be on our
gone
P's
away.
and Q's.
Yep.
Now, last week they looked a lot better overall.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't really have many big plays. You think one.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a huge dagger. It was just a big play. This is the NFL. You expect to have big plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I will say, at the end of the day, as far as the offense goes for the Bengals, am I concerned about it? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase is going to torment us as Browns fans for years to come.
Yep.
Jamar Chase is that good. I give him all the credit in the world.
Yep.
And Joe Burrow, unfortunately, is that good too.
Yep.
Or
And
did I say Joe Burrow? I don't know. Either way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we all knew Joe Burrow was going to be that dude coming into the draft. I mean, it was a real shame that it kind of landed the way it did for the Bengals. Boy, I tell you what, that really sucks. Because I wanted to root for him in the NFL, but as soon as he got drafted by the Bengals, I'm like, yeah, I not
have
rooting
to
for
say,
you.
I'm the same way. I've told many people, if Joe Burrow wasn't on the Bengals, I'd root for whatever team he's a part of.
Yeah.
Because Joe Burrow's on the Bengals, I hate the Bengals just a little bit less, but I still hate them. I want nothing good to happen for them.
No, not me. I don't hate him less. I hate him more. I hate him more now that he's on that team.
Yeah.
They don't deserve a player like that.
No, they don't.
They really don't. The Bengals fans don't deserve a player like that. I still stand on the fact that the Bengals have the worst fan base in the NFL. And we would know it. We live here. We deal with it every single day.
Yeah.
They have the worst fan base.
When they were one game out of the lead for the division, I'll never forget that. People were calling for Zach Taylor's head.
Yep.
Zach Taylor took you guys to the Super Bowl last year. Your head coach, and people talking about firing him. Fire Zach Taylor. He's not a good coach. He's terrible at what he does. He can't help Joe Burrow. They spent all this money, and he sucks.
Yep.
I'm like, you guys haven't even given it 4 games.
Yep.
And now they're in first place, and everyone's back to praising him, raise hell, praise Dale type deal.
And it's really funny that all those wannabe fans who were rooting for him in the Super Bowl have disappeared. Just
definitely, they've disappeared to an extent. Now they're back in first place. They aren't as quiet, but I think I tell you what, if they lose Monday, it's gonna get real quiet for a lot of Bengals fans.
Good. And I'm gonna be loud as hell. I'm going to be loud as hell.
It wouldn't matter when we played. If we won, you'd be loud as hell no matter what.
No, you're right, but I'm gonna be especially loud against them damn Bengals fans.
Yeah.
They're the worst. They are the worst fan base in the NFL. And I'm tired of people telling me that I needed to be happy for the Bengals when they made it to the Super Bowl. Hell no. I ain't happy for you. No. I hate you. No. I hate your team.
Yeah.
Team's the worst. So
It'd be like us, for me, it'd be like me rooting for Michigan if they went to the national championship game.
exactly.
It
Ex-
wouldn't happen. Just like
ex-
you wouldn't root for Ohio State.
yeah, exactly. Or it's like I had to put it in terms for somebody who, number one, this friend of mine, I'm not going to name any names. He's a good dude, but he doesn't pay attention to the NFL. He really doesn't. But man, he did in the playoffs last year. It was all about him. And then he had the nerve to tell me that I was being a bad fan of football because I wasn't rooting for the Bengals. You should be happy for the Bengals. I said, no. And he was like, but I don't understand. I said, yeah, because you're not a fan. You were not a fan. He goes, I'm a fan. I said, this is the only time you've ever cared about football. It's the only time. The dude's a soccer dude, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, speaking of soccer, that's like me. Like this year, I am going to watch the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know any of the players. I know Pulisic, the kid from he used to play for Manchester United. Like I know him. I don't know any of the other guys.
I know none of them.
But I'm going to root for Team USA.
Yeah.
Because they're actually in it this year.
Yeah. But I had to put it in perspective for him because he was big into high school soccer. Like, for his high school that he went to, he had rivalries. And I'm like, sorry. I told him, I'm like, imagine like your rival school going to state. Are you going to root for them? He's like, well, no. I said, exactly. He goes, well, no, but that's different. That's different. I mean, I actually went to that school. This is just a professional team. So it doesn't matter. I was like, you don't know what I've invested into this fandom. Like, you don't know. And he's like, well, you're just being a bad football fan. I'm like, well, we're never going to see eye to eye on this.
Call me what you will.
And that's eventually what I've had to say. I'm like, you know what? Fine. Call me a bad fan. I've told that I was gatekeeping, that I was gatekeeping on football teams, and that I was telling people they have no right to root for the Bengals after they didn't say shit when how bad they were, and you're only rooting for them because they're like winning. I was told that they had no right to do that, and they're like, you're just gatekeeping, and that's not okay. And I'm like, well, fine, maybe I am gatekeeping. I don't care. I'm still going to do it. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, man.
Honest to God, it makes perfect sense. This team celebrated the fact that they sold out their season tickets this year. This team doesn't have a wait list like the Browns do. My best friend, Jordan, had to wait almost 2.5 years to get season tickets. And yet, God forbid, they sold out season tickets for the Bengals this year. But
exactly.
We don't need to keep talking about the fans. We all know how we both feel about the fans.
Yep.
Let's kind of get into, the actual game itself. We talked about the offense.
Yep.
The other thing I'll say is their defense. Their defense is good.
Yep.
It's not great.
Yeah.
I will say that I watched a little bit of the Falcons game, and they gave up a huge play to, was it Darius Bird or Demarius, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
The guy used to play for the Titans. He's been bouncing around the league, and they gave up a 75-yard touchdown. So obviously, big plays can happen on this team.
Yeah.
And the other big piece is we're going to have to run the ball. We have to set up the big plays.
Yep.
And we have to make sure we're targeting whoever Eli Apple's covering.
Yeah.
Because Eli Apple is still there. Obviously, Jesse Bates is there. He's a great safety.
Yep.
Awuzie is a pretty darn good corner.
Yeah.
So, obviously he'll probably be locked on Coop. But I mean, like even then, like the Falcons didn't run the ball great against them. They only averaged about 3 yards a carry, almost 4 yards a carry between their running backs. But at the same time, like we've been able to run the ball successfully on them in the past.
Yep.
We can run against this team.
Yep.
I mean, Kamara ran for an average of 5.2 2 weeks ago. Much better running back than what the Falcons have.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram ran for an average of 5.1. Much better running back than what the Falcons have. So, I think we have a very good chance as far as running the ball. I think passing the ball is going to be a problem because, normally you would rely on Joku to take some of the pressure off of Cooper and Peoples-Jones. This week you don't have that. So you need to have one of two things happen. David Bell needs to step the hell up, or they need to figure out a way to get Michael Woods involved in this game.
Yep.
You've got to have some production from somebody else.
Yeah.
You have to. The offense gets very stale if it doesn't. And, obviously we run a lot of 11 personnel. This week it can't really happen. You don't have 3 tight ends on the roster you can run a lot of. Not good blocking tight ends. Unless Farrell Brown somehow gets out of concussion protocol. If he does, that'd be a huge step for us. But I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it'll happen either, but I mean, you never know. We've seen
for sure.
We've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into our keys and win the game. I guess I'm just gonna go first for defense. Get to the quarterback. I want to get to the quarterback. That's what I want to do. Make Joe Burrow throw off his back foot, plant his ass on the ground, and that's my key to win on defense. What about you?
So I'm actually going to say I'm not going to use your key, but I'm going to emphasize one thing.
Yeah.
I think the thing is we need to make Joe Burrow think.
Yeah.
Because when he's out there and he's playing free, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yep.
Plain and simple, he is. So they've got to make him think that they're coming for him.
Yep.
You've got to dial up some blitzes. You got to get some pressure in his face. You have to force him to think. But my thing is going to be shut down Jamar Chase. Figure out a way to stop him. Whether that's Denzel, whether it's Denzel and Delpit, whether it's Denzel and John Johnson. I don't care who it is.
It was a good combination of
I don't care who it is.
It was a good combination of Denzel and Newsome last year.
Yeah, and both are great corners.
Yep.
And if you want to put Greg Newsome on Jamar Chase and have a safety help over the top, I'm cool with that.
Yep.
Hell, to be quite honest with you, even if you want to do the old Bill Belichick, if you want to put Denzel on freaking T. Higgins and then have Greg Newsome in a safety over the top of Jamar Chase and then let Greedy or MJ guard Tyler Boyd, I'm fine with that too.
Yep.
You just got to find a way to eliminate completely the big play of Jamar Chase. My fantasy team wouldn't like that very much, but we're playing the Bengals this week. My fantasy team takes a back seat.
Oh, exactly.
So
you're right.
I mean, and obviously for me, it's the the offense. I'll go first for that. There's so many things you could say.
Exactly. It's so hard to pick just one.
I think the thing is going to be, and it's kind of, it's kind of a theme for me, but we need to run the ball consistently throughout the game.
Yeah.
And it's not run. For me, it's not run the damn ball. It's make sure we don't go away from the run.
Yeah.
Because we do a good job in the first quarter. We do a great job in the fourth quarter. The second quarter, it gets a little sparse and then disappears completely around halftime. The third quarter, it's not there at all. The fourth quarter, it comes in a huge way.
Yeah.
We need to be consistent. Consistently run the ball throughout the game. Take this juggernaut of an offense off the field.
Yep. So
do not allow them to be on the field.
Yep. So I'm going to use the same one that I used last week.
Okay.
Learn to adjust on offense. Okay. Take what the defense is giving you.
Yeah.
We've said our scripted plays go great. That's fine. But when the script breaks down, it's time. You have to learn to adjust.
Yeah.
If you can't adjust, then you're not going to do anything in this league.
Right.
So that's what I say. Learn to adjust.
Yeah.
So that's my key on offense. Although I do completely agree with you, and I want to say that too. Be consistent with running the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me it's you have to be consistent because this team losing Njoku is a big hit, man. It really is.
And he's been doing great this year.
He has. He's shown that he earned that money. He has. And you have to find a way now to be able to get a Harrison Bryant involved in the lineup, involved in the game, which he's made some decent plays this year.
Yeah.
But he's not David Njoku.
No, he's not.
He's been used more as a blocking tight end instead of a vertical threat. Well, guess what, buddy? This time you're going to have to be more of a threat.
Yep.
You have to be both.
Yep.
which I think he's okay in the blocking part. It's just a matter of the vertical threat part.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I was going to say this earlier,
Mm-hmm.
but if you take away the ref aspect of that game and the fact that we lost,
Mm-hmm.
I feel the best about that loss of any of the losses we had all year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that.
Because it wasn't, the team didn't play bad. They played okay. Offense played okay. Defense played okay.
Yep.
Obviously, they held Lamar to what they did.
Yep.
They could have done more.
Yep.
Special teams was not good. So they've got to figure that out.
Yep.
But the team itself overall played okay.
Yep. Yep.
So I think that it's a positive stepping stone, but it doesn't really matter if you don't finish.
Yeah. No, you were right. You are right. So yeah. So hopefully we come out of this game with a win, man. Yeah. We need this win. This is a must-win division game.
It definitely is a must-win.
It's absolute must-win.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yep.
Must win.
Yep.
If you don't win this, to be honest, the season's over. If you win this, is the season over? No.
No.
Is it all in your hands? No.
No.
You need a very big Buccaneers win tomorrow.
Yep.
You have to have Tampa Bay win tomorrow.
Yep. Yep. And they're not dependable at all.
No. I mean, you got to stay within 2 games.
Yep.
You have to. Because really the big key is you have to be within 1 to 2 games when Watson comes back.
Yep. Yep.
And you look at the schedule, there's only 1 game on this schedule remaining, period, that's not a beatable team. That's Buffalo.
And hell, you never know. Any given Sunday.
Yeah, but I lead the bus warming up, if I'm gonna be honest.
No, I mean, yeah, I agree with you, but I'm just saying you never know.
No, Josh Allen to get hurt or Stephon Diggs to get hurt in order for me to feel better about that game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. If
either one of them we're not rooting for an injury.
Oh, I'm a huge Josh Allen fan.
Yeah,
he's good. When I saw him live in person, I was amazed. I wanted him over Baker. I still am a huge Josh Allen fan. And I love Stephon Diggs, not only because of personality he is, but how good of a football player he is.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to get hurt. I love watching them play football, but I'm just saying, unless something bad happens, I don't see us winning that game.
Yeah, neither do I. But all right.
Let's go ahead and get into these picks.
Yeah, so I didn't have a good week last week for picks.
You did not have a great week. You got 7 correct. Now I didn't make up enough ground on you. I only got 9. So
okay.
We had a few differences. I won 3 of the 5.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I wasn't able to gain too much ground on you. So currently we sit you are at 42. I am at 39. As I've been doing, all my picks are in. So I will let you go first. We start off with Baltimore traveling to what seems to be the absolutely in shambles Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm taking Baltimore in that game, and God, I hope they lose, but I am taking Baltimore.
Did you see the Antonio Brown t-shirts he's selling?
I have not seen the t-shirts.
He is selling t-shirts with the picture of him hugging Giselle.
Ooh.
He's selling them for $50, and he said all the proceeds, or half the proceeds, are going to families with fatherless homes. Cool, that's a great cause. But
yeah, I also saw the picture of him he photoshopped his face on Tom Brady's body and posted that on Instagram.
I didn't see that one. I saw the swimming pool.
It's Giselle, and it's Tom Brady with the Patriots, and it's Giselle behind him wrapping her arms around his neck or whatever, and just being all lovey. And then you look, and it's Antonio Brown's head in place of Tom Brady's. Because I looked at the picture, and I'm like, why is Antonio Brown wearing a Brady jersey? And then I looked at his arms. I'm like, well, those arms are white. Antonio Brown's not white. And then I looked, I'm like, oh, he photoshopped his face on that. That's a bold move. That's a bold move.
He don't care. That man, I'm gonna be honest, he needs some help.
Yeah.
He needs a lot of help.
At least he's not
going through it.
At least he's not whipping out his wiener in pools anymore, as far as we know.
That was literally the last thing he did was with that screen in a hotel pool.
I'm just thankful that it hasn't happened again since then, as far as we know.
I mean, you're talking less than a month ago. I mean,
Listen, you gotta take a win. You gotta take a win any chance you get with this man.
I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to the next game. This is an interesting one. Two teams that are on 4-game losing streaks. Both just trying to figure out who the hell they are. No one really knows what they are. You got the Denver Broncos traveling to Jacksonville. I'll go first, obviously. I'm going with Jacksonville because I believe in what they are doing way more than I believe in Denver.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think Jacksonville will win that game.
Yeah, and no one knows who Denver is. Hell, Who knows? They could drop 40 now that I'm benching Jerry Jeudy. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Next, we have Carolina traveling to Atlanta. This could be a very interesting game.
I'm going to take Atlanta in that game. Carolina's hot garbage.
They didn't play bad, though, last week, right?
No, they played great, but I still think they're hot garbage.
Yeah, I'm going to look up something. When does he come back? Mr. Patterson, where's he at? Is he not hurt? Oh, yeah, okay. He's on the IR. That's what I thought. So week 9 is when they're looking at him returning. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go Atlanta. Yeah, I did, but I like to think in between. So this is gonna be an interesting game here, and I have a wild card pick, but I want to see what you're gonna take first.
Okay.
The Chicago Bears traveling to the Dallas Cowboys.
Ah, man, that's an interesting one.
That's an interesting game.
That's a hard pick because the Bears played great the other night.
Something up here?
Probably.
Before you make any picks.
Okay.
I need to look at something.
I am holding.
Okay, I see what I did wrong.
Okay.
Oh,
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so you're good. You can pick. I realize. I know I screwed up. You're good.
I'm taking Dallas. I think they are the better team overall.
Yeah.
But I'm tempted to pick Chicago. But I think that game was a fluke for them. I think it was a fluke.
Yeah, I want so badly to pick Chicago. I really, really do. I want really badly to pick Chicago because I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but Dallas at home.
Yeah.
Dak coming off the injury, now his second week back. I gotta go Dallas.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted to do there. All right, this could be another interesting game. Arizona, who was played really well last week, traveling to Minnesota. I took Minnesota.
I'm going to take Minnesota as well. Okay. It's a hot team right now.
You definitely especially coming off a bye week.
Yeah.
Like they should be refreshed and they should be ready to go.
Exactly.
Next game is kind of a what do you got left? Are you going to try and turn the season around? Are you playing for anything? At least in my opinion. Las Vegas traveling down to New Orleans. I think Jameis is back this week too.
I'm going to take New Orleans, although I'm tempted to pick the Raiders, but I'm just going to go with New Orleans. If Jameis is back.
It looks like, from what I'm seeing, it actually is Andy Dalton starting this week.
You know what? Give me Vegas. Give me Vegas. Give me Vegas. Give me Vegas. Even if Jameis was coming back, I was going to change my answer.
Yeah,
so
I went with Vegas too.
Yeah, I'll take Vegas.
This one could also be interesting only because no Breece Hall, and I think the way that he was catching fire, I think he was really adding to this Jets offense. At the same time, though, they did just trade for James Robinson.
Yep. Which I have him on fantasy. So
we have the New England Patriots traveling to the Jets. I went with the Jets.
I'm going with the Jets as well. Is Mac Jones gone from that team?
No, he's playing. He started.
Yeah, he might start, but is he going to get taken out again?
I don't know. That was a weird situation.
That was straight. Did you see what he said?
No.
He was caught. Mac Jones was caught on the sideline saying, "I'm done." You didn't see that?
No.
Now after he got pulled, he was caught saying, "I'm done." Now after the game, he was just like, "Well, it's part of Coach Belichick's plan," and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, man. But they were all cheering. The New England was cheering for Bailey Zappi. Billy Zappi. They wanted him.
Bailey, yeah. That's wild.
They wanted him. The fans wanted him. They did not want to see Mac Jones. Yeah.
That's wild.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I still don't know that the Patriots could even win that game. Anything's possible. But anyway, next game. This is an easy pick. Pittsburgh traveling to Philly.
Oh God. Really? Okay, yeah, we're taking Philly all day. Kenny Smallhands Pickett is proving to be exactly what I thought he was.
Yeah.
AKA dog shit.
Well, I mean, he had a couple decent drives, but and interceptions or they stalled. You were like, okay, I see what he's got there. Okay, nice pass. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh hey, look, interception on the goal line, or it's like, oh hey, look, we had really bad passes in between, and now we have to punt or kick a field goal, and it's like, ooh, God, I feel bad for you guys. It's like Baker Mayfield.
Ooh, don't say that. I don't feel bad for them. Fuck Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I love watching them suffer, but anyway. All right, next game, another interesting one. I think it should be an easy win, but God, you never know. Tennessee traveling to the Houston Texans.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Okay, I agree. Next is the Washington Commanders traveling to the Indianapolis Colts, which I don't know if you saw, Mr. Matt Ryan was benched.
Now he's also hurt.
Yeah, but they said that Sam Ellinger is going to start the rest of the year.
Which tells me that the season is done for Indianapolis, so they're going to lose this game.
And I'm going to go with Washington because of that.
Yep, same here. Is Taylor Heineke starting for Washington?
Yes, he is.
Okay, yep.
Who picked the Commanders to win last week? Is Taylor Heineke?
Hey, you did.
I did.
You did.
All right, next game. I think this may be the only game where besides the Dallas game where we actually have any kind of real conversation about it.
Yeah. Okay.
San Francisco traveling to the Rams.
San Francisco looked awful last week. The Rams have not looked good, but San Francisco just got a big player in Christian McCaffrey, and for that reason, I am picking San Francisco.
Yeah, I picked them for the same exact reason. You give Kyle Shanahan an extra week to work with McCaffrey, that's just not good for the league.
No.
That combo together is going to be disgusting, and then, to be honest, if Trey Lance can be half of what they want him to be coming back, I think that offense can be disgusting.
Yep.
Him and Debo on the same team with George Kittle, that's gross. It really is, especially if C-Mac stays healthy.
Yep.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
Next game, this is going to be, I think, a very good game. The surprise, I think, of the league, the New York Giants traveling to Seattle, who's another huge surprise of the league. I am going to go with the Giants, not only because I think they're a better team, but DK Metcalf being out is a huge blow for them.
I want to pick different than you. I really do, but I think the Giants are going to win. Yeah. I want to go different, but I'm not going to pick
every same pick.
I know. And I don't like that, but I'm going to pick who I think is going to win. And so,
yeah, it's really hard to pick against the Giants the way they're playing right now.
Exactly.
Next, I don't need to mention it. Green Bay traveling to Buffalo.
That's a Buffalo win.
That's the way. Did you see what Aaron Rodgers said on Pat McAfee?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man. So they asked him about what happened against Washington. They said, what did Washington's defense do to make you guys play the way you did? And he said nothing. Literally nothing.
Wow.
He was like, we just made a bunch of mental mistakes. He said in the past we never made those mistakes, but this year we've made a lot of mental mistakes. You could
Wow.
tell that he's just like,
Whatever.
done.
He done with it.
And I was talking to one of the guys I work with. He lives up in Michigan. He's a big Green Bay fan, and he said, these guys are absolutely terrible. He's throwing to.
Yeah.
What is Rodgers supposed to do?
Yeah.
And they're not wrong. This offense is terrible.
Yep.
It's almost as bad as like that pass from Tom Brady to Mike Evans in the Panthers game. I just saw the pass today.
Oh man,
I mean, he was wide open.
Yeah.
That's a walk-in. That's not even a dog. That's a walk-in.
That was not good.
So that's gonna be an interesting situation.
I agree.
That plays out. So, but yeah, I think that about does it.
We got one more game.
Oh well, that's true. I didn't want to be honest. All right, so I think we're going to pick the Browns. Cincinnati traveling to Cleveland, which, crossing my fingers, hopefully it's where I will be Monday night. I don't know if it's going to work out the way I want it to, but it's when I saw the schedule, this was the game that I circled multiple times.
Yep.
I want to go to that game. There's 3 games I really wanted to go to. And obviously this is post-Watson suspension.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the Bengals game on Halloween. Oh, excuse me. The Tampa game, just to see Tom Brady play.
Probably for the last time.
Yep. And I wanted to go to either the game in Cincinnati for Watson's return. Well, obviously the second game back.
Yeah.
Or the Ravens game for his first home game. Those are the 4 games I circled when I saw the schedule come out.
Yeah.
This game, this crowd should be electric. This team needs to get their heads out their ass. This game was obviously the Ravens game, it was very positive but very negative, right?
Yep.
So we all said the Browns played good enough to win. But the positive was after the game, the players getting on each other's cases. The John Johnson thing came to light. Obviously, that was the week prior, leading up to that.
Yeah.
But the players showing passion. Players playing with more heart this week. The players actually showing that they care. Knowing what this team could be and should be. This is the week you show it. Your season's on the line. If you guys have any hope to bring a playoff game to this team, you have to win this week. Have to.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
No, you're right. So I'm just going to end it on that. I can't. What more needs to be said? Nothing else needs to be said. So on that note, guys, it's going to do it for this edition of Load the Box Browns. Guys, I really hope we come to you next week celebrating. That's the hope. That's the plan. Fuck the Bengals. And we're going to see you next week. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Hoo, hoo.